On the Fly with the New Guy. I'm Mike Swafford. I'm new in town with a new look at Billings. I've moved from Mount Rushmore and will share my experiences with my video blogs from the stories that you can hear every day whenever I am on K-Bear 98.1 and on Saturdays, my 105.9 right here in Billings.
Right now, I have what I refer to as the gas station incident. My first morning driving into work from the duplex, and the night before I meant to get gas, and of course I didn't. It was a Sunday night. I'm not going to get out and get gas. And we had been packing and unpacking all day, very first day in. So the next morning, I realized I had 6 miles to empty, is what my odometer says. And I'm trying to figure out, gee, how far is it to work? I know it takes me about, 17, 20 minutes to get there. So what is it in miles? And where are the gas stations on the way? And so on my way in, I remember that there's a couple downtown. And so I am in the left lane, and there's about 4 lanes across there. And I realized that means that I'm going to pull into the one right up ahead of me as I start to approach downtown. And there's a semi there. I think that he's getting ready to pull out, but instead he's unloading stuff there at the gas station on the left. So I can't see beyond him to get into the gas station, but I know that I got people behind me and I got to pull in there. And so I pull around the semi, and all of a sudden I have to stop because there's a car there. And I think, crap, they're really busy getting gas here. And then I notice that it's a car that has nobody in it. And they're not getting gas. They're over to the right of the pumps, but yet not far enough for me to get to the pumps, not close enough to the pumps for me to drive around. And so here I sit. And I have somebody else that almost runs into the back of me because they're going to pull in there. Well, then they go ahead and keep going because they can see that, well, nothing's happening here. And so I wait for a little bit. There's a truck in front of this car that was getting gas. And when somebody comes out, I'm hoping it's the person in the car so they can at least pull out of the way. That way I can get up because they would have had room to get around the pickup. But instead, the person coming out gets in the pickup, they drive off. Here I sit with this junky car in front of me, just sitting there. And finally, somebody comes out. And whenever they come out, they go around to the passenger side of this car. And I'm thinking, wow, they're just going to sit there and wait for something. Maybe they'll slide over there and pull it up. I mean, that would be the kind thing to do, right? And I know all about kindness because, I mean, come on, look at me. And instead, they fiddle around close to the middle of the car and then look at me and says, I'm sorry. I'm like, no problem, yeah, okay. And they come around to the driver's side and they get in and then they pull up a little bit so that I can get up to the tank, but then they stop. I go, okay. And I sit there, I got my window down. It was warm that day. And the guy starts walking toward my car. It says, hey, man, can you help me out? And I'm thinking that he wants money. But instead, he says, this thing doesn't always like to start again after you turn it off. So I'm just going to leave it on here. I thought he was going to ask me to like push him with my car or get out and push. I'm like, I'm not doing that. And he says, I bought some ice in there that I got to go back in and get. Can you watch my car for me? I'm like, yeah, right. Okay, sure. Yeah, and I start pumping my gas. And I'm like, I can watch your car, dude, but I'm going to watch somebody drive off with it because I'm not going to throw down with somebody in this sketchy neighborhood because I've looked over and I see people sitting on a wall there that are like sharpening their switchblade and I don't know what other sketchy stuff they're doing. But I know that if one of those people come over and they think that they're going to drive off in that car, the best I can do for my dude is to tell him, hey, they were wearing a black shirt, and I can tell the cops that, but no, I didn't try to stop them because I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to, like, hey, let me tackle you and get you out of the way. No way, man. I know that's not your car. You're not driving off with this beautiful machinery that may or may not start if you, in fact, get to the light. Yeah, so I sit there and thankfully none of the sketchy people took it. You know, we live in an honest place, okay? See, I and the guy, with the car, he's thinking, yeah, somebody's going to drive off with this baby. Just going to look at it. And I'm thinking somebody's going to drive off with that guy's car because it's going to make me have to make a decision, which I'd already made in my head. I'm not going to chase anybody. And so, therefore, it didn't get stolen. He comes back out and he's like, thank you. God bless you. I'm like, I know I'm a hell of a guy and this is what I do. You're welcome. He pulls out. Then I drive past the sketchy people and I'm thinking, no, they want my car. That's why they didn't take the other one. And they're looking at me and they're like, oh, he is a weak dude. We could take him. But no. And I'd also noticed enough where people can't pull out there. So I did go around and catch the other street because it's right there at the light. And so therefore, whenever people go up to pull out, well, they can't because the light is red. You can't get through. Whenever it's green, there's a steady flow of traffic going through. So yeah, smart guy. I went around there and went out and was able to go about my business and then I go back and I tell people what happened, and they're like, "Oh, hey, I know which station you're talking about. That's the one right off 6, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." They go, "Yeah, that is like the sketchiest gas station in town, man. That's the one that you don't want to stop at." Really? Well, thank you. Thanks. This would have been good to know maybe whenever I moved here. I don't know. But anyway, I appreciate it. No one was killed, but, I just hope that next time that somebody doesn't take the guy's beautiful Impala from 1972 or whatever it was.